one of my most requested services and that I'm seeing all over online is about Gua Sha for beauty and for facials. And I want to talk to you guys about why it's good for beauty and how to do it for your own self. One of the main things that Gua Sha is good for the face is helping bring in a ton of blood flow. Like I've said before in this video, it's just tons of blood flow, which we all know is going to be really good for your beauty and face. And you have so many muscles in your face, so you can hold all this tension. And you ever notice how someone has really great skin, but they just look like just tired or like really like angry or like resting bitch face or all these things? A lot of that is because of tension in their muscles. So you might not even realize how much tension you're feeling in your face until you feel how relaxed it will feel with doing Gua Sha. And the other thing that Gua Sha is really good for and why it's helpful for beauty is because, like I was saying earlier, fascia, which is what Gua Sha works on, is literally made up of collagen fibers and elastin fibers. And so wherever you have a buildup of unhealthy fascia or essentially unhealthy collagen or elastin fibers, we're actually going to help clean that up. That way you can have healthier fascia, healthier collagen, and help stimulate that fascia. And another thing is that a lot of people don't really realize this, but wrinkles are actually a form of scar tissue. Because, let's say you're sitting at the desk at home, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing. Maybe you guys were doing this before, but like you're like frowning at the computer, or you're like tensing your eyebrows and it's creating little creases in your forehead, or like right in between your eyebrows. Sometimes people will get lines, really common right through there. A lot of people get Botox to basically help stop the muscles from firing. It's like helps it stops the neurotransmitters from firing, so you don't flex that muscle. So what happens when you do flex that muscle is you're creating this crease, and it's creating essentially the fibers to be laid down in the shape of that wrinkle. So when we're gua shaing, or when you're gua shaing, you are actually going to help break down the depth of the wrinkle. And we might not be able to completely erase the wrinkle because if it's been there for a really long time, but you can actually soon be able to break down the deepness of it and help minimize it, as well as if you do this on like a daily routine, you're going to be able to have a constant, more relaxed muscles, so they're not going into that stress pattern. They're not laying down those fascia fibers that are going to create that wrinkle. So I'm going to show you guys my favorite routine that I like to do maybe 4 to 5 times a week. I feel like that feels good for me. You want to take your Gua Sha tool and again apply a lot of oil, and I'm going to actually start right through here, and then we're going to go up the neck, and then we're going to go through the face and help flush things out. And the reason why we're going to start actually right below the clavicle is because you actually have a lot of lymphatic glands right through here, and we want to essentially kind of wake them up and say, hey, like wake up, it's time to work. So I'm going to show you guys the routine that I really like. So you want to take your tool, like I said, lots of oil, and start from the sternum, and you can even go over the sternum. So go from the sternum and actually go like this. And actually I'll pull this down a little bit so you can see, but I don't have oil right now on. But go from here over, here over, here over, and repeat that until you see some really good red blood flow. And it doesn't have to be too much, just a little bit. And then you're gonna go up the neck, and you can go this way or you can go this way, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But the idea is to actually like go on the sides of the neck and help open up this area and help the lymph glands, you have a lot through here, open up and wake them up too. And then we're gonna go from chin over. So go from here. And you can do little motions or you can do longer ones. I feel like if you notice there's this adhesion, it's kind of sticky or clumpy, then I tend to like to do a little bit shorter ones. But if you're just kind of doing like an overall general blood flow, then you can do a little bit longer ones. And you can go right along the jawline, like right through here, going all the way up to the ear. And then I'm gonna have you go from here, from like the lips, over here. And then this is where there tends to be a lot of tension in the jaw. A lot of people have a lot of jaw tension. So sometimes they'll even have you open your jaw, like open your mouth. And then you can access these muscles through here a little bit easier. So if your goal is to really help with jaw tension, I would spend a little bit more time there and actually opening up your jaw, and you can close it too, maybe do both. And then you're gonna go from the nose all the way over here and do this cheek right through there. And then you can get actually pretty close to underneath the eye. The key is just lots of oil because you don't want to pull on that skin. So going from over here, and this will really help with not just the wrinkles, but a lot of times people have like a bag under here, or it just seems kind of dark. And a lot of that's because you're just not getting that good blood flow, and it's pooling, like the lymph is just not flowing that well. So going from here over, and then I'm gonna have you go the other side. So starting from chin and going over, 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 and doing that so it's nice and red blood flow. It's nice and red over the skin. And then I'm gonna have you go from forehead in between the eyebrows all the way up the center. So you're creating some good blood flow. I would maybe do that about 10 times. And then you can go over, we'll do the left side first, but you can go over the actual eyebrow, and there's a ton of tension right through there. And I actually feel like I've noticed personally doing it over my eyebrows, because there tends to be a lot of tension there and adhesions, it actually can help stimulate the hair growth. So if you feel like your eyebrows aren't as full, I actually have noticed that my eyebrows are fuller because wherever you have that adhesion or scar tissue under there, there's not as good of blood flow, so your hair is not going to be growing as well. So actually going over the eyebrow is going to help with not just tension, but the hair growth of your eyebrow. And then going over the forehead from center to side, and then repeating on the other side. So you can go and do like the center again, like this, and then going over the right side through here, and then going over the forehead, and repeat about 10 times. And your face should have it should be red. Like it's not gonna look pretty at first. You're gonna look very glowing, like you just went on like a really long jog and got your heart rate up. But that's good, that's a good sign. You might see a little bit of those red speckles called petechia, where you have that adhesion where we broke it down, but it's also totally fine if you don't get to that level. If you do, that's okay. Plus, you're at home and maybe no one will see you, and so maybe it's not as big of a deal if you had to go in for work. So I'm gonna do a further in-depth video about Gua Sha for the face and actually doing it on my face, because that was just a small teaser, but I'm gonna actually show you guys me doing it. I wanna show you also where, because I'm sure there's some spots in my face that probably have the adhesions. So I wanna show you what it looks like on my face so you can know when you're doing it at home and say, oh, okay, that's kind of what hers looks like, and have a reference. So stay tuned, and I'm excited to show you guys some Gua Sha for the face more in depth in future videos.